What if the birth of new life meant the death of hope? Paradise Season 2 just delivered its most devastating twist yet, and the ending revelation about Terry changes everything we thought we knew. But there's something even bigger hiding beneath the surface, a time travel mystery that could rewrite the entire show. Stay until the end because what I'm about to reveal will completely blow your mind. Welcome back. Paradise has returned this week with episode 4 of season 2, titled The Holy Charge, and I need to talk about this immediately. After just 2 weeks, we're already halfway through the second season, and honestly, this episode hit me harder than I ever expected. I didn't think I'd be sitting here with tears in my eyes, but here we are. This episode gave us a massive revelation about Terry, heartbreaking parallels between two births in completely different worlds, and some major clues about time travel that are starting to connect in the most mind-bending ways possible. So let's dive deep into this episode, break down every crucial detail, and explain what that ending truly means for the future of the show. Trust me, you're gonna want to hear this. The entire structure of this episode was brilliant. We witnessed two births happening simultaneously, one inside the safety of the Colorado bunker 3 years ago, and one in the harsh reality of the outside world in present day. The contrast was absolutely stunning and intentional. Inside the bunker, we saw Luis's birth, with all the modern medicine, technology, sterile equipment, and trained medical professionals you'd expect. Everything was controlled, safe, and clinical. But outside, Annie was literally giving birth on the floor of an abandoned Waffle House. No technology, no medical equipment, just a makeshift rollout mat, some blankets, and the desperate hope that everything would be okay. The visual storytelling here was powerful, showing us just how different these two worlds have become. What made these scenes even more impactful was having Xavier as the witness to both births. He saw the advanced medical care 3 years ago in the bunker, and now he's experiencing the raw, dangerous reality of childbirth in this devastated world. This parallel perspective gave him and us a stark understanding of what's been lost. One of the most revealing moments came when Annie opened up about her past. She said something that really stuck with me. I've been alone for a very long time. I didn't trust people before the world ended. This single line explained so much about her character. It clarified why she was so hesitant when she first met Link, why she chose to travel alone instead of joining his group, and why she was terrified of other survivors they encountered on the road. Annie had spent her entire life isolated by choice. Trust issues didn't just appear when the world collapsed. They'd been part of her core personality for years, maybe decades. She'd built walls around herself long before the tsunami hit. This backstory makes what happens later in the episode even more tragic and beautiful at the same time. The title of this episode, The Holy Charge, represents something profound, the knowing that we are all capable of great change, great love, and great promise. And we see this concept play out in the most emotional way possible. When Xavier left to get help, Annie was terrified. Based on her entire life experience, she expected to be abandoned. She expected him not to return. She expected to face this alone, just like she'd faced everything else. But then Xavier came back, and he didn't come back alone. He brought an entire community of people willing to help a complete stranger give birth. In the moment when Annie needed people the most, when she was at her most vulnerable, humanity showed up for her. This scene absolutely destroyed me emotionally. For someone who'd spent her entire life unable to trust anyone, Annie finally experienced what community and compassion truly meant. She got to feel cared for, supported, and valued as a human being, perhaps for the first time ever. As Xavier told her earlier, there's nothing wrong with a little trust, and in this moment, she finally understood what that meant. While the bunker birth was worried about standard medical complications and hospital procedures, Annie's concerns were entirely different. She spoke about the world her baby would be born into, one filled with destruction, pain, loss, death, and endless storms to come. This contrast highlighted something important. The worries that seemed so significant inside the bunker 3 years ago now seem almost trivial compared to the reality of survival on the outside. Xavier witnessed both perspectives. He heard the concerns about medical protocols and proper procedures in the bunker, and now he's facing a world where simply surviving childbirth without modern medicine is a miracle. But there was wisdom being shared too. Xavier remembered what Cal Bradford told him, that babies are built to survive, that they're resilient, that they've been found alive in earthquake rubble days after being buried. This knowledge wasn't just carrying Xavier through the experience, it was giving Annie hope in an otherwise hopeless situation. Here's where the episode took a turn I absolutely didn't see coming. As I was watching, I had this terrible feeling that something was going to go wrong, either with Louise's birth in the past or Annie's birth in the present. The tension was building, and I knew the show wouldn't let both births go smoothly. And then it happened. Annie started bleeding uncontrollably. There were complications with the birth, and without any medical equipment or trained professionals, there was nothing anyone could do to save her. Annie knew she was dying. You could see it in her eyes, in the way she was acting. That's why she wrote a letter to her baby daughter. She knew these were her final moments, and she wanted to leave something behind. The fact that the showrunners chose to kill off Annie so soon after introducing her was shocking. We'd only known her for a few weeks of screen time, yet her death hit harder than some characters we've followed for entire seasons on other shows. That's powerful storytelling. In Annie's dying moments, she gave Xavier his holy charge, his divine purpose. She asked him to do something monumental, lead her newborn daughter to her father inside the bunker in Colorado. She specifically said, "It has to be you. You will not let her be afraid of people." Think of the weight of those words. In the short time they knew each other, just a few weeks, Annie saw Xavier's true character. She saw how he put an extra blanket over her when she was cold, how he walked beside her when she rode the horse, how he came back with an entire community of people to help her. Annie recognized that Xavier was a good man with a good heart, and she knew that if anyone could raise her daughter to trust people, to see the good in humanity, to not repeat Annie's lifetime of isolation, it would be him. She was leaving her baby in the most capable hands possible. Now, this is where things get really interesting. Annie's letter contained a phrase that I believe is absolutely crucial to understanding where the season is headed. She wrote, "Love travels across death, across time, and it bridges the impossible distances and binds people together that have never known each other." This isn't just poetic language. This is a direct hint at the time travel elements the show is introducing, especially those specific words, across death and across time. We're being set up for something big involving time travel, alternate timelines, or parallel realities. And I think Alex, whoever or whatever Alex is going to be central to this concept. Let me connect some dots for you that the show has been carefully laying out. During the recap before this episode, they specifically included a scene from season 1 where Sinatra talked about her dead son. She said, "Everyone said that time would help, but time is making it worse because it's taking me further away from when he was here." This wasn't included randomly. This is telling us Sinatra's motivation for everything she's doing. We know she's been draining massive amounts of power from the bunker for some mysterious personal project. What if that project is about time travel? What if she's trying to either go back to a time before the disaster happened, or more personally, go back to when her son was still alive? She knows there's another catastrophic event coming. The scientist mentioned that the tsunami was only phase 1. The temperatures will rise, oceans will evaporate, and conditions will become even more uninhabitable. The bunker might not even be able to survive what's coming. Early in the episode, we saw Xavier reading a specific book, The Last Man by Mary Shelley, written in 1826. This book is set in the late 21st century and follows Lionel Vernet as the last surviving human on Earth after a global plague wipes out humanity. This is absolutely not a coincidence. The show is drawing a direct parallel between that story and Xavier's situation. He's not dealing with a plague, but he is experiencing a different kind of human extinction event. The fact that they specifically showed us this book title and author is the show's way of telling us to pay attention. This theme of being the last survivor, of witnessing the end of humanity, is central to Xavier's journey. Here's something I've been thinking about. We now have two babies born in the same generation, Luis's baby boy in the bunker and Annie's baby girl on the outside. Is it significant that one is male and one is female? Could these two children be important to the future of humanity in some way? Will they eventually meet? Could they be part of whatever time travel or reality-shifting event is being set up? The show made a point of showing us both births in parallel for a reason. These children matter to the larger story being told. Remember when the grandmother outside mentioned the volcanic eruption in Sumatra? She talked about how it reduced the human population to just 1,000 people, and the entire current human population descended from that small surviving group. She wasn't just sharing a history lesson, she was foreshadowing what might be coming. Another extinction-level event that could reduce humanity to almost nothing. We know the scientist said phase 2 is coming, rising temperatures and evaporating oceans. What if there's also a volcanic event on the horizon? What if that's the real threat everyone needs to prepare for? Annie also mentioned having dreams about a massive storm coming. Between the scientific predictions and these prophetic dreams, it's clear something catastrophic is approaching fast. The Link mystery. Who is he really? Now let's talk about Link, because I have some wild theories forming. Annie's dying words gave Xavier the mission to find Link, the father of her child, inside the Colorado bunker. But here's what we know about Link that doesn't add up. His real name isn't on his identity card. We don't actually know his birth name. He's only called Link because he's obsessed with the video game character from Zelda. And in the Zelda games, what does Link do? He explores. He travels through time. He moves between different realities and timelines to save the world. What if Link isn't just a random survivor? What if he's actually a time traveler? What if he came from the future or an alternate timeline to try to prevent something or change something? His mission is to reach the bunker and deal with Alex. He's absolutely determined, almost obsessed with this goal. What if Alex is a person or device involved in time travel? What if Link knows something about the future that we don't understand yet? Here's where my theories get really wild. Could Link actually be Calvin, or could he even be Dylan, Sinatra's supposedly dead son? What if Sinatra's time travel project actually worked, and she managed to save her son, but in doing so created a paradox or alternate timeline? If Sinatra successfully went back far enough to prevent Dylan's death, it could have opened up a timeline where someone from the future, Link, could come back to what we're seeing as the present day. I know this sounds mind-bending, but think about it. The show keeps giving us these strange visions where Link and Xavier see each other across time and space. The camera angle changes, creating this effect like we're seeing two different versions of the same moment from different perspectives or timelines. They're connected somehow, and I don't think it's just a psychic connection. I think it's something to do with time itself. There was a line Annie said that I think will become incredibly important later. Outside, the little things will kill you. This wasn't just about infections or minor injuries becoming life-threatening without medical care. This was a warning about the new reality of the world. Xavier isn't used to this outside world yet. Annie spent years learning how to navigate and survive in this harsh new reality. She understood the dangers, the threats, the tiny mistakes that could end your life. But Xavier? He just came from the controlled environment of the bunker. He hasn't truly lived and breathed this devastated world yet. He hasn't developed the survival instincts and knowledge that Annie had. This line is foreshadowing future danger for Xavier. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to underestimate threats. And those little things might very well put him in serious danger as he tries to complete his mission of getting Annie's baby to Colorado. Okay, So Xavier somehow made it all the way to Atlanta on horseback while caring for a newborn, which is honestly incredible in itself. But when he arrived at Terry's last known location, she wasn't there. Instead, he met someone who had been close to Terry over the past few years, someone who considered her like a sister, and this person revealed that Terry was taken from me. That phrase, taken from me, is deliberately vague. The writers chose those words carefully because they want us to speculate. Who took Terry? Where was she taken? Is she still alive? Here's my theory. The only group we know that's been actively traveling toward the bunker is Link's group. They've been on the move for 9 months trying to reach Colorado. What if they encountered Terry during their journey? What if they took her with them, either by force or because she had information they needed? We know Xavier and Link have this mysterious connection through their visions. What if that connection exists because their paths are destined to cross? What if Terry being with Link's group is part of how Xavier will eventually find them? The fact that Terry disappeared right around the time Link's group would have been passing through that area can't be a coincidence. Let me just say, this was an incredibly strong episode. I don't think it's the absolute best episode of the entire series. That honor still goes to Season 1, Episode 7. But this one is definitely in the top tier. I did not expect to get this emotional. I did not expect to cry. But here I am still thinking about Annie's death scene hours after watching it. It was a brave, creative choice to write out Annie's character so quickly after introducing her. We only knew her for a few episodes, yet her emotional weight carried enormous emotional weight. That tells you everything about the quality of the writing and acting in the show. The scene where Annie died absolutely destroyed me. Annie coddling her, saying, it's okay, dog," as she slowly faded away. Her screaming for them to stop trying to save her because she knew it was hopeless. And then, in her final moments, telling Xavier, "I'm not scared anymore." The comfort that Xavier gave her showed his true character. He made a massive impact on her life in just a few short weeks, giving her something she'd never had before: genuine human connection and trust. And can we talk about the music choice? Can't Help Falling in Love playing during that scene was absolutely perfect. It elevated the emotion to another level entirely. Xavier Collins in this episode reminded me so much of Randall Pearson from This Is Us, which makes sense since it's the same creator, Dan Fogelman. The tears, the compassion, the emotional vulnerability, it was peak Randall energy, and it worked beautifully. I'll admit, I'm both excited and slightly nervous that the show seems to be going down a time travel route. Time travel storylines can become incredibly complicated very quickly, with endless possibilities, paradoxes, and alternate timelines that can confuse audiences. However, I have faith in Dan Fogelman. If anyone can handle complex interconnected storylines across different time periods, it's him. He proved that masterfully with This Is Us, weaving together past, present, and future storylines in ways that always paid off emotionally and narratively. So while time travel is risky territory, I think we're in capable hands. What I'm really loving about this season is how it's focusing on core human values and emotions. Yes, there's the mystery and the sci-fi elements and the survival thriller aspects, but at its heart, this show is about humanity. It's about trust, community, sacrifice, love, hope, purpose. The scene where Xavier brought that community of strangers to help Annie perfectly captured this theme. In a world that's been destroyed, where survival should theoretically make people selfish and cruel, we're seeing the opposite. We're seeing people choosing compassion, choosing to help, choosing to care. That's what makes this show special. It's not just about surviving the apocalypse, it's about staying human during it. I have to give special recognition to the musical score in this show. It's composed by the same person who worked with Fogelman on This Is Us, and you can absolutely feel that emotional DNA throughout. The music in Paradise is present in almost every scene, but it never overwhelms. It complements the mood perfectly, enhances the emotional beats, and helps establish the environment in a way that makes you feel like you're actually there experiencing these moments. During Annie's death scene, during the birth, during Xavier's journey, the score elevated every single moment. It's one of the unsung heroes of why this show works so well. Here's my one complaint. I wish this season was longer. We're only getting 8 episodes this season, and we're already halfway through. That feels way too short for a story this complex and emotionally rich. I would love to have 10 or even 12 episodes to really spend time in this world, to develop these storylines, to let the emotional moments breathe. And here's the kicker. It was recently announced that Paradise will conclude with Season 3. That means we likely only have around 13 episodes left in the entire series over the next couple of years. 13 episodes to wrap up all these mysteries, resolve all these character arcs, and deliver a satisfying conclusion to the story. That's not a lot of time. I trust Fogelman to stick the landing, but I'm definitely going to miss this show when it ends. Paradise Season 2, Episode 4 was an emotional gut punch, wrapped in beautiful cinematography and powerful performances. Annie's death scene will stay with me for a long time. But beyond the tears, this episode laid crucial groundwork for where this season is headed. The time travel clues are piling up. The mystery of Link's true identity is deepening. Terry's disappearance adds another layer to the puzzle. And Xavier now has a divine purpose, his holy charge, to deliver Annie's baby to her father in Colorado. The parallel between the two births wasn't just a stylistic choice, it was showing us the stakes. One child born into safety and technology, another born into chaos and danger. Both children matter to this story, and I believe we'll understand why as the season progresses. The themes of trust, community, and staying human in the face of destruction are resonating powerfully, and the hints about time travel, alternate realities, and Sinatra's mysterious project are building towards something massive. I cannot wait to see where the next 4 episodes take us. So there you have it, Paradise Season 2, Episode 4, Ending Explained. What did you think of this episode? Were you as emotional as I was? Do you have theories about Link, Terry, or the time travel elements? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I love reading your theories and perspectives. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss my coverage of the remaining episodes. I'll be back next week to break down Episode 5, and trust me, if the pattern continues, we're in for even more revelations. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.